Hey, everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Check Yourself with me, your host, Mandy Manyuke. We're here to chat and just help each other work on some self-development. Yes, we're busy checking on ourselves and making the world a better place, working on the man in the mirror. Yeah, like I said last week, you know what Michael Jackson said? If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. And that is what we're here to do. Like I said last week, I'm no professional. I'm no perfect person. I'm actually here to check myself. And as I'm checking myself, I'm here with the gang, check yourself, gang, busy working on ourselves and making ourselves better. So while I was busy checking myself last week, I came across a very interesting quote. And I'll read it to you. This is what it said. Never blame another person for your personal choice. You are still the same one who must live out the consequences of your choices. This is by Caroline Miss. Ooh, I was like, okay. Sometimes it seems really, really easy, like it's an easier road to take to just kind of shift the blame and blame the other person and not, kind of evaluate yourself. But guess what? Whether it's someone else's fault or whatever you want to call it, you're the one who's in the mess. You're the one who's going to live with the consequences. So, like we said last week, why not work on it and clean out that mess by yourself? Because this is your life that you're going to make better. So, yeah, this was me. Let me know what you came across while you were checking yourself in the previous week. Let me know in the comments section. Look, I know I promised you that we're going to be sipping on some tea, but this week, I'm really sorry. I'd like to apologize. Please do forgive me. I don't have anything that we're going to have to sip some tea on. So, unfortunately or fortunately, we're going to have to dive straight into our topic of today. And I'm so excited about the topic that we have today. It's called Hello Inmate. Yes, are you an inmate? Because I know for sure I'm an inmate and I'm trying to fight for my own emancipation. I'm trying to break free from something. So yeah, Hello Inmate is our topic today. And as I was, just meditating and, trying to figure out what to learn from this inmate situation, I came across Lucky Dube's song, I am a prisoner. Yes, because I was like, okay, yeah, I was looking at myself, I was checking myself, and I was saying, for sure, for real, I am a prisoner. I'm an inmate, and I'm trying to break free, break out of this prison. So, buckle up, guys, as we're about to talk about this very, very sensitive, but still very important topic. On this journey of checking myself and trying to make myself better, I have been trying to get myself into a habit of reading a lot more. And yeah, I've always been a person who's loved books, being an art student. But I'm trying to really, immerse myself into this reading habit. And as I was in that lane, someone recommended a book to me. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And while I was reading that book, I came across a very interesting quote. He says that the process of behavior change always starts with awareness. You need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. Wow. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. You need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. A lot of us are really stuck in these prisons, lifelong prisons that we're in. And we're stuck in this inmate condition because we are not aware that we actually are in a prison, that we actually are inmates. Did I say that right? Did you get that right? So you can actually start the process. You see, it's a process. He says that the process. So it's not something that's just going to happen at the snap of a finger, but it's actually a process. And for the process to begin, all right, there is need for awareness. So that is something that I actually want to trigger today in all of us who are listening to this, because it was triggered in me too. That's why I was saying that when I was reading all this and doing all of this, I was reminded of Lucky Dube's song that says that I am a prisoner, because I was aware that, I am free, but not so free after all. I am an inmate. I am a prisoner. So are you actually aware that in your life there are areas that you're actually an inmate? Are you aware that in your life you might be free but not so free? Your mind might be in prison. Your emotions might be in prison. I don't know. Talk to me. Give me your responses in the comment section. See, the issue of awareness is actually something that's very, very important, because even in last week's discussion that we had, it's actually something that's also very applicable and very important, because if you don't see a problem with yourself, you're never going to work on it. And it's not about other people actually telling you that you need to work on this, but it's an issue of you realizing it, and realization is something that actually comes from within. So I'm hoping that today, as we're talking and we're just, having this chitty chat on this podcast, you are beginning to evaluate and, analyze your life, how you're living it, and seeing areas where you are in bondage, have some shackles, because we're not going to make any progress. The process is not going to start. The process of change is what we want, right? While we're busy checking ourselves, we're trying to move ourselves from one stage to another. But that transition can only happen if you realize that there is a problem with where you are right now. Okay. So you need to slow down a bit and take some time to analyze your life, how you've been living it, and what's been going on in your life, so that you get to realize, get to that moment of awareness that something actually really is wrong, that at some point or in some area in your life, you actually are an inmate. I know you're probably wondering why I'm laughing right now, because I'm imagining that in your minds, you're probably going through this process. You're like evaluating yourself, and you're busy seeing all these people who are in prison, making you a prisoner. You're busy seeing, your boss as as your jailer. You're busy seeing your husband as your jailer. You're busy seeing, I don't know, as your jailer, But remember, this is check yourself. We're looking at you as your own jailer. You putting yourself in your own prison, being your own prisoner. We're not talking about politics here, where you're busy thinking, well, maybe we're going to be talking about the economy, how our government is being so irresponsible and selfish, all that stuff. We're talking about you and I, being our own jailers, putting ourselves in our own little jail cells. Yes. Ourselves is our own prisoners. That is what we're going to be focusing on today. So bring back those thoughts, bring back that mind. Yes, come back to me. Come back. Come back. You better come back. Come back from all those people that you were beginning to see as your jailers, as those people who were putting you in prison. Come back, come back, come back. We're talking about you. You as your own jailer. You putting yourself in your own prison. Yes. That is what we're getting into depth with today. So are you aware that you're actually putting yourself in prison? Are you aware that you're your own jailer? Are you aware that the prison that you're in is self-inflicted? Are you aware that some of the actions that you've been taking in your life are actually the ones that have made you get to the point that you are at today. So begin to ask yourself these questions. What have I been doing wrong? What steps have I been making? What decisions have I been making? How have I been leading my life? Have I been just leading my life recklessly? Like right now, we're under lockdown and we're spending our times however, you're working from home, there is no routine that you're really following, it's so hard to work from home. Sometimes you can just be so reckless with your time and, binge watching Netflix show Max. I know what's going on because I'm also a prisoner, And then at the end of the day, you're busy asking yourself, how come time has just flown? How come this year has just passed by and time just flew just like that, and I have not managed to accomplish anything. And you start blaming the government, you start blaming the economy. And yet, maybe in your own capacity, there is maybe a 1% that you could have, worked on and made your life a lot better. So start to bring your thoughts back to yourself and look at how you have been putting chains on yourself, how you've been restricting yourself, how you've been restricting yourself in your mind, how you've been restricting yourself in any way possible. I need you to get to that position of awareness, because the process of change can only start when you are aware. So I need you to start to just ask yourself those kind of questions so that you begin to see how you have ended up in this prison that you've put yourself in. Even if it's emotionally, even if it's in relationships, how have you been conducting your relationships? How have you been making your decisions, your choices? What are your priorities? If you're broke, like me, you see, people, I told you that I'm not perfect and I'm no expert. I'm actually, checking myself, and I was like busy just looking at how I spend and like how I just, when I get money, how I just spend it, And I was just thinking, okay, now I get why I'm in this prison of being broke. Now I understand this has got nobody else involved but myself, because I'm not being responsible enough. So I need you to get into that space. Right? So that we can start the process of change. I need you to start checking yourself. Start checking. Look at yourself and ask yourself, what chains do I have on? Right? Are they chains that I've inflicted on myself because of bad decisions? Are they chains that I've inflicted on myself because of bad habits? Have that analysis time and get back to me in the comment section, because your girl likes to hear what's going up in that mind of yours. I want to know if self-awareness is happening, if you're beginning to be aware, if you're having realization moments, if you're having awakening moments. I want to know. I need to know. Give me the feedback in the comment section. So, yes, I'm one of those people who are guilty of binge watching. But anyway, at least I managed to get a few lessons, from my binge watching. Yeah, I'm busy comforting myself. Yes, yeah. I'll check myself. Don't worry, guys. But anyway, yes, as I was binge watching, I was watching a series called For Life on Showmax, and it's about this guy who gets imprisoned or gets like wrongfully accused and stuff like that. I won't get into detail about the story, but it got me thinking about the inmate situation, right? This guy ended up finding purpose while he was trying to emancipate himself, like in fighting for his freedom, because he ended up studying law and becoming a lawyer while in prison, so that he could represent himself, right? But in that process, he found his purpose. Because I was busy thinking, okay, if this guy, because initially before he got arrested, he was a prison, he was a club owner, right? And I was thinking, okay, if his business had just gone the way that he wanted, and if he'd never been imprisoned, probably he wouldn't have found this new passion of being a lawyer. And he was damn good at it. He was so good at it because he was the prison rep representing all the other inmates and stuff like that. So like this movie really got me thinking, okay, sometimes when we're in these prisons that we put ourselves in, like I was saying that I am super duper 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 broke and I'm trying to work on me becoming that, dollared up lady. Yeah. It's only those kind of situations that makes us find our purpose. Sometimes we find our purpose in the less likely places ever. Those are the places that we get to realize our capacity and what we can actually do. So you need to probably start to shift your mindset now that you're aware that you're a prisoner, now that you're aware of the habits and the things. I need you to be writing things down as we're doing this chitty chat that we're having. Now that you're aware, now that you've indicated and highlighted everything, right? I need you to get into that space where you're now thinking of your emancipation, where you're now getting inspiration from your situation. Yes, I know I just rhymed. Inspiration from your situation. Okay, back to business, back to the serious talk. Yes, because this guy, in his pursuit of freedom, he found his purpose. So sometimes we find ourselves in these nasty, messy situations. And if we allow ourselves, if we're open to positivity while we're in that mess, maybe, just maybe, we will be able to find so much beauty that we never knew we had out of the ugly that we will be going through. So give it a thought. Think about it while you're analyzing your situation, while you're analyzing this prison that you're in, this chains that you're in, while you've realized that you're your own prisoner, you're your own jailer, this guy, he had to study law so that he could go and represent himself. So I'm saying your freedom is in your own hands because after all, you're the one who put yourself in this prison, right? So work on it. Work on it. Think about it. Look at your situation from a positive point of view. Try to get some lessons from this. And check yourself. Check yourself. And in checking yourself, awareness comes. And when awareness comes, change comes. The process towards change actually begins. Hey, gang. Gang, we cannot talk about prisons and not talk about labels, okay? The labels that the outside world puts on prisoners. So like I told you that I was watching this series. As these guys would get out of jail, sometimes they wouldn't be accepted by the community because of the offense or the crime that they would have committed. And sometimes, I want us to look at this from a different angle, right? We're going to look at it from two different angles. Number one, if you know that you're a prisoner, if you know that you're your own jailer, why then are you trying to put someone else in a prison? Why then are you not more forgiving towards other people? Empathy. What happened to it? Especially I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get into this, my folks in the church. I remember when I was watching this, the guys in the prison, right? The prisoners themselves, they would rank each other according to the crime that they had committed. So if you had committed murder, whatnot, you'd be the most feared, the boss of the clan, da-da-da. And I feel like in the church, we have this syndrome going on where we're busy ranking sin Oh, well, I just lied. So, well, I'm a far much better citizen of the kingdom of God. Well, because I can't be committed to someone who is adulterous. Well, because I can't be compared to someone who just committed murder. I can't be compared to so and so because they've committed a much greater crime. Oh, no. Check yourself. Check yourself. All right? We are all prisoners. We are all trying to fight for our own emancipations. Focus on emancipating yourself from that lying habit that you're having. And stop trying to make other people feel worse for the things that they're fighting. We're all busy fighting demons. All right? We're all trying to fight our own battles to become better people in this world. So stop with the labels. Okay? If you don't like being labeled, then don't label other people. All right? Okay? So we've got to check ourselves. If you're listening to this podcast and you're from the Christian circle and you are a believer in Christ, I am preaching to you. Yes, let the church say amen. Let's quit this label game. Let's quit it. We all trying to be Christ-like. We all trying. We're all trying, And if someone is actually labeling you, don't let your influence or what defines you come from them. What defines you is inward. Channel your energy from the inside out. Beam your light from the inside out. Silence their voices in your head. Because after all, they're busy trying to fight their own demons. And they're trying to put all that energy on you. So silence all that negative energy. Erase all those labels and tell yourself who you are and write your own story, because that is why we're here after all. So check yourself. Where are you letting your influence come from? Where are you letting your direction come from? Is it from the outside in or from the inside out? That's why we're having so many people trying to be like other people, because we're busy taking information from the outside inwards instead of taking things from the inside out. If we all could channel things, I don't know how I've turned left. But I guess I'm just supposed to say this because someone is supposed to hear it. Okay? We've got so many people trying to be like other people without even knowing it. Because we're busy taking information and taking who we are, taking our identity from the outside, bringing it in our inside, instead of channeling our inside, which is so rich, richer than what is outside, and emptying it out to the outside. Such that the world can be so balanced and so beautiful and have this beautiful blend with people who are so unique, following their purposes. So look, inmate, the whole goal here is for us to go for a prison break. I am breaking out of this prison that I have put myself in. I am going to break the chains that I've inflicted upon myself. Let the church say amen. Okay, guys, on a more serious note, this week we really need to focus on understanding how we've found ourselves in these positions, how we've put ourselves in these positions that we're in, how we've ended up in these prisons that we've put ourselves in. Because remember, it's awareness that helps the process of change begin. So if we're not aware, we're never going to have this prison break. So let me know what decisions, what steps are you going to take? What has been awakened in your mind? What have you learned? Let me know in the comment section. And also don't forget to let me know what other topics you'd want us to talk about. Yes, as long as it's all about checking yourself. Remember, as you're going through this week, everything everything that's going to happen, just remember to check yourself. It's been lovely chilling with you people and having this conversation with you, this constructive conversation with you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope you love it too. Have a blessed week. God bless you.